All right. What's up, everybody? And hello and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Mike, as always. And today, real quick, we're going to go over Bellator 288. Now, I'm going to be going live later tonight at 9 p.m. with Johnny K. Picks from Twitter. Dude's super dope. Going to be a lot of fun going live at 9 p.m. to break down the UFC card. That's at 9 Eastern time. So make sure to tune in for that. And now we're just going to go over Bellator 288 real quick. There's a lot of setup matches. We're going to go through those pretty quick. A few squash matches. They're just trying to build up some prospects as usual. And then there's a lot of fun stuff at the top of the card. 2 title fights. Usman Nurmagomedov versus Patricky Pitbull. And the rematch between Nemkov and Kory Anderson. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a good card. So I'm hyped to break it down. I've already got some spots. Went back to my old ways with a nice round robin that I'll talk about. And yeah, hopefully we can find some more spots as we go through it. I'm hyped for the props to come out. And without further ado, let's hop right in. So, oh, I forgot to pull up my notes for all of these fights. Okay. Just going to do that right now as we go. Hopefully be able to keep up. Okay. Sorry about that. So for this first fight, we've got Wladmir Gouvea versus Kory Moegenburg. Now, Wladmir, he's making his pro debut. He hasn't fought amateur either. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. So he does not have any MMA fights. He's 6 feet tall with a 70-inch reach, training out of AKA. Moegenburg, he's 2-4-0, 31 years old, 5'10", so he's 2 inches shorter. He's got a 70-inch reach as well. And for him, so I've got him. I don't have a gym for him. I couldn't really place him. It's funny. His only finish win is by sub also. And Gouvea is a BJJ guy. But look, Moegenburg is terrible. He's lost by knockout 4 times. Doesn't do anything quite good. He's going to be smaller here. This is very clearly a setup match for Gouvea, but the guy's a heavy favorite. There's absolutely no way to play this without, he's never fought in MMA. Yeah, he could be really good at Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but he could be absolutely awful in martial arts. So it's silly to place a bet on him. We'll see what the props are once they come out. If we can get like him by sub, or maybe fight doesn't go at a decent price, maybe we'll hit those, but more than likely, we're going to pass on this fight. Excited to see what Wladmir Gouvea looks like. But again, without any MMA fights, can't be confident on him. And Papa Chuck saying his mouth is dry from all this chalk on this card. Same, man. Same. You guys are going to see it's a chalky card. Even here, Novoa, without any without any MMA fights, he's sitting at, let me pull him up. Gouvea, sorry, not Novoa. He's sitting at minus 325, just so you guys have a feel for that. But all right, so we'll move on. I've got a bet here. We've got Isaiah Hokit versus Matias Nader. Hokit is 1-1-0. He's 5'10" with a 69-inch reach, and I've got him training out of Jackson Wink. On the other side, Nader, he's 3-0, undefeated as a pro, 5'7", so he's 3 inches shorter. I do not have a reach for him, and I don't have a camp for him either. Look, I like Hokit here all day. It's a clear setup fight for him. He made his debut in Bellator. He was like minus 6, 7, 800, lost by knockout. And since then, everybody's been super low on him. First off, the guy who beat him just got a win, and I think it was LFA or CFFC just like this past weekend. So it's not like he lost to some scrub. And it also wasn't like a performance that really showed who he was. He showed that in the next fight where he was super dominant. This guy, Matias Nader, like he was getting taken down on the regionals. And that's really all I had to see. His striking's not very good, so it's not like I think he's going to come out here and knock out Hokit. And I think that Hokit's the way better grappler, and I think Hokit's going to take him down, grind him out, and either submit him or finish him. So I played Hokit money line. I got it minus 205. I played it for 2.05 units. Right now, he's sitting at minus 220. Look, it's chalky, but I think he should roll here. Maybe I'll parlay him up a little bit more too, but I do like Hokit. I think it's a clear setup fight for him, and that's why I played his money line. We'll see what the props look like for that once they start coming out, but we'll move on to the next fight because I do think Hokit should roll. All right, so for this next one, we've got Laird Anderson versus Rob Fenicle. Anderson's 2-0, undefeated as a pro. He's 24 years old, 5'7" with a 65-inch reach. And for his camp, I don't have. Oh, he's out of AKA. I do have his camp. On the other side, Fenicle, he's 2-2-0. I'm laughing because he's awful. 33 years old. He's 9 years older. 5'6". He's 1 inch shorter, and he's got a 65-inch reach as well. For his camp, don't have anything new, so we're going with Northern Illinois Combat Club. And look, this is just another clear setup fight. Fenicle has been submitted already. Anderson's a high-level BJJ black belt. He's really, really good on the ground. Fenicle, his main move is like he loves these ankle locks that he goes for constantly. I'm gonna laugh if he tries that here. I mean, Anderson is way too good on the ground for Fenicle to submit him with an ankle lock. I think if anyone's getting a sub, it's going to be Anderson. And Anderson's much better on the feet as well, in my opinion. So I do like Anderson to win this fight. He's very chalky. He's like -5 or 600. And he is a part of my round robin that I've been talking about. I don't think we've spoken about any of the other guys. What I did for this round robin was I put on 7 guys who are chalky. I did them for combinations of 5. So for those who don't know what a round robin is, pretty much I pick my 7 guys. I say I want every combination of 5 for those 7 people. And those are all the bets that I placed. It came out to 21 bets. Each bet was 0.2 units for a total stake of 4.2 units to win like just over 5. So that way it's still a parlay, but I have a few chances even if 1 or 2 guys lose anyway. So Laird Anderson is the first part of my round robin. I think this is a clear setup fight for him. He should be able to beat up Fenicle on the feet. And then on the ground, which is what Fenicle's strong point is, he should dominate as well. So again, setup fight. I like Anderson, and we're going to move on to another setup fight, even clearer. Here we've got Jordan Newman versus Jayden Taulker. Newman is 4-0, undefeated as a pro. He's 6 feet tall, 73-inch reach, and he trains out of Rufus Sport as well. On the other side, we've got Jayden Taulker. He's 2-2-0, 27 years old, 5'10", so he's 2 inches shorter, don't have a reach, and he trains out of Demolition Fight Team. So once again, Taulker has been taken down by lesser men on the regional scene more than once. Jordan Newman, extremely high-level wrestling, Division III NCAA champ, just super deadly, 2 knockout wins. He's been grinding these guys out, taking them down easy. He's really good. I'm probably going to play him inside the distance, but I've also played him in my round robin that I just spoke about. He's the second piece there. And yeah, I mean, I just think he should roll here. This is a clear setup. He's the bigger, stronger, younger guy with the better wrestling and the better striking, but it's going to come down to the wrestling, I think, and he's going to probably finish Jayden Taulker on the ground. I'm excited to see what his inside the distance prop is sitting at, because I'll probably play that more than likely for Jordan Newman. But overall, I like him here. I think he should roll, and he is on the round robin, so we're going to move on. All right, we got another squash fight, but what can we do? We got to work with what we're given. Here we've got Sullivan Cauley versus Jay Radick. Now, Cauley is 4-0, undefeated as a pro, 26 years old, 6'3" with a 75-inch reach, and I'm not sure about his camp like 100%. I'm pretty sure he's at Strong. I think it's called Strong MMA or Strong Style with Ryan Bader, but I'm not positive right now. On the other side, you've got Jay Radick. He is 3-0, undefeated as a pro, 38 years old, so he is 12 years older here. He's 6'5", so he's 2 inches taller. We don't have a reach, but I'm pretty sure he's going to have a reach edge, and I don't have a gym for him. Now, look, another clear setup. Radick literally oh, someone's saying ITD is -275 for Newman. Did that just come out? Yeah, wow. Okay, props just came out as we're on the show. Let's do this real quick. Hokit, anything I like. Maybe fight goes to decision at +195. What's Hokit in ITD -105? That might be a spot. Make sure you guys are following me at Couch Warrior Pod on Twitter, because if I make any of these bets off air, that's where I'm going to be putting them. Newman by KO -110. Newman inside the distance -275. That's a lot. Lucas Brennan, how about him? Let's see, by sub -180. That's not playable. Laird Anderson by sub plus 200. Okay, we're gonna play that. I'm gonna play that right now. Sullivan Cauley TKO -180. Now you can't play that. Killys Mota by submission plus 400. We'll talk about that one. Aliev by submission plus 225. That's another one. What's Aliev inside the distance? -215. Nah. Archie Colgan, ITD. Colgan minus unplayable. Hassan Ashkabov, Rodriguez. We'll talk about this. I don't want to talk about those props right now. Kory Moegenburg. Let's see. Gouvea sub plus 115. Maybe probably hit that, honestly. And okay. Yeah. And the rest of the championship fights, it's just some overs. Over 2.5 for Nurmagomedov. Patricky is plus 125. That's not a bad spot. Yeah. Thank you, the Vidge, for letting me know about the props. I just pulled them up, went over them real quick. Definitely going to be playing the Laird Anderson by sub. I'm actually going to do that right now. If anybody wants to join me, it's up on Bet Online, and we can do it for plus 200, and that's exactly what I'm going to play right now. And then we'll get right back into the breakdowns. Sorry, guys. Sometimes lines come out, and you have to take advantage because money's going to start coming in. All right. Laird Anderson, submission, plus 200, half a unit to win one. Okay. And then we're going to say F it. And we're going to go with Gouvea by submission. Plus 115 for a half unit as well. Done. Okay, cool. So hyped to do that. Now back to the fights. Yeah, so Jay Radick hasn't fought since 2019. He's fought absolutely abysmal competition. I mean, I have to point out, so has Cauley, but look, this should be Cauley all day. I do think he takes down Radick. Don't have much information on Radick in terms of defensive grappling, but Cauley's a high-level wrestler. He knows what he's doing there. He does prefer to strike, but I think he can strike with this guy. It's a clear setup. I have Cauley in my round robin. That's probably the only way I'm playing this now that I've seen the props. Cauley by KO at minus 180-ish isn't playable in my opinion. So Sullivan Cauley's the spot for me. He's in my round robin, and we're going to move on to the next fight. And talk about setup fights. Here's yet another one for a guy who's been getting setup fights his whole career. We've got Lucas Brennan versus Nick Talavera. Lucas Brennan is 7-0, undefeated as a pro. He's 22 years old, 5'10" with the 71-inch reach, and he trains out of Next Gen MMA. I don't know exactly. I know he trains under his father for sure. Nick Talavera on the other side, he's 5-1-0, 26 years old. He's 4 years older, 6 feet tall. He's 2 inches taller, and he's training out of Rough House MMA and Fitness. So look, Nick Talavera, his thing is BJJ, and I say his thing because that's like how he wins. All 3 pro wins by submission, but like it's not very good. His wrestling isn't that great. I think this is Brennan all day long. Brennan, a BJJ black belt. Brennan, a very good wrestler. Brennan with the better striking. I think Brennan should roll here. He probably submits Talavera, but I just checked. It's like minus odds for a sub on Brennan, on the Brennan side. So it's not worth playing, in my opinion. Maybe Brennan by KO. What is that sitting at? Let's look. Plus 500 on the KO. I'm imagining it maybe from like back mount, ground and pound, trying to get the rear naked, but I don't know. Plus 400. All right, we'll move on. Clear squash match for Lucas Brennan. They set him up easily here, and I think he should roll. Another setup fight. We're almost done with these. We've got Archie Colgan versus Jesse Hannam. Colgan is 5-0, undefeated as a pro. 27 years old, 5'9" with a 69.5-inch reach. And for his gym, I actually don't know where he trains out of. On the other side, Hannam, he's 2-1-0, 26 years old, so he's 1 year younger. 5'9" with a 70-inch reach, and he's training out of Elite Edge MMA. Look, Hannam's probably one of the better guys out of all these squash matches, but like he's just not that good. He's been taken down in the regionals as well. And Colgan, you know, he wrestled for University of Wyoming, high-level wrestling. He's shown that. He has good striking, although I don't love it. But I think he's the better striker. I think he's the better grappler. I think he's going to dominate Hannam, honestly. Hannam's never been submitted. He's been knocked out once. Maybe a ground and pound TKO for Colgan. I'm not sure. Like I checked before, the Colgan odds aren't that great for the props. Colgan by TKO is plus 105. Colgan by sub is plus 350. Colgan inside the distance is minus, what is that? 225. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll look at that Colgan TKO prop, but at plus 105, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, he's only got 1 sub win, this Colgan, but Hannam's not a high-level fighter. So, yeah, we're not going to waste too much time again. Another squash match meant for Archie Colgan to get a dub. I played Colgan in my round robin, and that's probably all we're going to get in terms of him. And all right, so we're done with squash matches for now. We're going to get there in a little bit. real quick, let's catch up with the chat. MMA Triple J, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Is Archie in Killcliff? You know, he might be. I didn't see it on his Instagram, and that's normally where I do my work. But if he is, that's awesome. I love Sanford MMA. Moise, thank you for tuning in as well, man. Colgan decision. Let's see what that's at. It's not a bad look. Colgan by decision is plus 275. That might be worth a look. I'm going to keep that one in mind and check it out after. And he is with Usman, so Whitman can't. My bad. Oh, so he's in elevation, is Colgan. Okay, great. Even better. But for this fight here, we've got Killys Mota versus Jairo Pacheco. So let me pull up my notes for him real quick. This one is one that I was really hyped to break down. Now, Mota is 13-3-0. He's 32 years old, 5'11" with a 71-inch reach, and he trains out of Taulker MMA and Fitness camp that just got a new champion. So, you know, they're probably all super hyped there. Good energy, good hopes. Pacheco on the other side, he's 7-0, undefeated as a pro. 25 years old. He is 7 years younger here. 6 feet tall. He's 1 inch taller. Don't have a reach for him. And he trains out of Tata Fight Team. Now, look, I was curious about Pacheco. He opened up as the favorite. Now he's the underdog. So I was like, all right, let's see what we're working with. He's a really good striker. I like what he does on the feet a lot. I like the striking. I like the front kicks, the 1-2s, the combinations. I like the jab. I like how he mixes targets. He's a good striker, and he's the better striker here. Now, Mota, he's good in the pocket, fast, good combinations, but he's a little loopy, and I'd say he's a little deficient at range. It's the pocket where he shines, but at distance, he's going to get clipped up a little bit here, I think. He does loop a lot, and that leaves his face open for straight strikes, which is what Pacheco throws. That said, Pacheco's offensive wrestling is pretty good, but he can get sloppy. It's his defensive wrestling, which is problematic, especially in this fight, right? So in his Bernardo fight, he got stuck on the fence, and he did get taken down in round 1 and held down. He got taken down in round 2 of the Silva fight and controlled until he got his own arm bar. Mota is a really good wrestler, a really good grappler. He's got 4 submission wins of his own. We've seen Pacheco get his back taken against lesser competition. And Mota, I think, has the ability to take his back and maybe submit him here. So I'm not going to play a side, I don't think, because I don't want to play Pacheco as a dog because of those ground deficiencies. And I don't want to play Mota as a favorite because of his striking deficiencies. So the only way I'm going to look at this is either fight doesn't go or the Mota sub. I mentioned earlier to you guys when the props first opened up on air, Mota by sub is plus 400. I kind of like that. I'm going to write these things down so I don't forget. I have a bad memory. Colgan decision. I'm going to look at that. And I'm going to look at Mota sub. Okay. Yeah, so that's the only way I would look at that. Fight doesn't go is plus 120. That has my attention, honestly, because I think either of these guys could get a finish. So that might be another look that I might check out. But yeah, I lean Mota because of the grappling, and I think he's still a decent striker. But I don't have utmost confidence here. Probably not going to pick a side. Might not make a bet at all in that fight. So we'll move on. And another squash match, but this is the last one. I'm pretty sure. We've got Imamshafi Aliev versus Sean Connor Fallon. Aliev is 8-0, undefeated as a pro. 24 years old, and he's another one of Abdulmanap's proteges. On the other side, you got Sean Connor Fallon. He's 16-7-0. He's 36 years old, 8 years older, 6'2". I believe Aliev is 6 feet tall. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. And Fallon is training. He's actually at Ricardo Almeida BJJ. He's with Frankie Edgar, and I think Corey Anderson is over there too. So it's a pretty good camp. And this is interesting because Fallon, what's his way that he wins most fights? It's submissions. He's got 10 submission wins. He's only been submitted once himself. Never knocked anyone out. Never been knocked out himself. Is he a crazy wrestler? No, not really. Is he an elite striker, Fallon? No, not really. Now, Aliev, I don't like his striking either. I think it's pretty bad, to be honest with you guys. Is it better than Fallon's? Probably, but it's not good. Aliev doesn't have good striking, but his wrestling, elite, as you would think. Training out of AKA with all these guys, Habib, all of them. He's part of the family. 2 submission wins of his own. I just think he's going to grind this guy out, take him down, beat him up. Is he going to get a sub? Maybe. Maybe he decides to just ground and pound this guy. What's Aliev by KO? Plus 135. Doesn't have enough juice on it to play. But yeah, Aliev should roll here. He should dominate this guy. It's a clear setup for him. And he's a part of my round robin as well. Now, I did get him at minus 750. He's even worse now. So, like, there's a point where I wouldn't even add him to the round robin. Minus 1,000, I would not. You can still get that minus 750 on BetMGM, though. That's where I did it. So, yeah, if you want to do that round robin, I'd suggest not doing it on BetOnline. I'm not even sure if BetOnline's allowing parlays still. I know they normally do start allowing the parlays once they drop the props, but let's check. Let's check real quick. Brennan, Cauley. Nope. Still can't parlay on there. So, yeah, go to BetMGM if you want to parlay these guys and do that round robin I've been talking about. But we're going to move on to a really interesting fight. I'm really excited about this one. Two guys who are really dope, and I'm hyped to talk about them. So, here we've got Otto Rodriguez versus Hassan Ashkabov. Rodriguez is 13-1-0. He's 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. And I've got him training out of King's MMA. On the other side, you've got Hassan Ashkabov. He's 23-2-0, 27 years old, 5'9". He's 2 inches taller. Don't have a reach for him. And he is training out of American Top Team and Tiger Muay Thai. So at first glance, I was interested in Rodriguez because he's the underdog and money's coming in on him hard. I wanted to see what everybody else was seeing. And when I first rolled the tape, you look at that LFA fight. He was a plus 200 underdog against a guy who was 19-2-0. And he wrestled him really easy, took him down, dominated the transitions on the ground, even had Big Nog freaking out. Very slick on the ground. I mean, the guy's an elite grappler, clearly. The second I saw his striking is when I decided I'm not betting Rodriguez. Not as a dog, not as a favorite, not at all. Because his striking is god-awful. I mean, it's abysmal. He loops, he throws only overhands, very little use of a jab, almost no combinations. If he's not getting his takedowns, he's panicking, not good on the feet. And, Hassan Ashkabov has really, really good wrestling himself. We've seen him lose some grappling exchanges, so there's that in the Lima fight in particular. But, he was able to regain position. It's once he was tiring out when Lima found the most success. And that fight was also in 2019. I do think that Ashkabov should be fine here. I think he can keep it on the feet. On the feet, it's not like he's the best striker either. He does some of those things I don't love, like throwing too many kicks, but his kicks are good. His hands are good. He's definitely the better striker here. He's probably the better offensive wrestler as well. So if Otto can't get off of this grappling, can't get that submission, this is Ashkabov all day long, in my opinion. He's the better striker, better offensive wrestler. The ground it'll get interesting. It'll get interesting because, like I said, Rodriguez is really good there. He can scramble. He can transition. But I like Ashkabov. I think he's going to grind this out, probably win a decision. The money's coming in on Otto right now, so I'm waiting. Minus 185 on Ashkabov isn't really something I want to play, but we'll see if it gets any better. Fight goes to decision is plus 125. That might be a spot that I target. Ashkabov by decision is plus 225. Might also be a spot I'm going to target. My only thing is if Otto Rodriguez gets exhausted, starts not doing well, panic shooting, maybe Ashkabov gets him out of there, and then we won't win that inside. We won't be able to win that decision prop. But what I'm thinking is I'll probably parlay Ashkabov with like Nurmagomedov or Jordan Newman and make it closer to even money, and then just play it. That's probably what I'll do. I will end up having about a unit staked on Hassan Ashkabov. And yeah, I just like this fight a lot. I'm excited. Maybe Otto comes in with new and improved striking. If he does, then this is going to be a really close fight. But if it's the same as before, I think it's Ashkabov all day long here. My guy, Prince of Mischief, in the chat. What's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in right now and watching. We got a couple of you guys in here. Appreciate you big time. And make sure you tune in at 9 to watch the UFC breakdown. But we'll move on to our next fight. All right, I'm hyped for this one, and I'll explain why in a second. Let me just pull up my notes. Be nice and ready for you guys. All right, so for this next fight, we've got Roman Faraldo versus Levan Kelly. Faraldo is 8-0, undefeated as a pro. He's 29 years old, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach, and he does train out of American Top Team. Now, Levan Kelly on the other side, 10-2-0. He's 26 years old, so he is 3 years younger. 6 feet tall. He's 1 inch shorter, and he's got a 73-inch reach. And he does his own thing in Georgia. Can't place him at any big camp, so I'm pretty sure that's what he does. And honestly, I'm shocked to see the odds. I'm shocked to see the Tapology predictions. You would think that Roman Faraldo's out here just beating up high-level competition, and it's like, no. They keep giving Roman Faraldo 39, 37, 38-year-olds who are cooking in McDonald's, and then they come out to fight Roman Faraldo, get knocked out with a flying knee. And even in his last fight against Iniguez, like the guy was landing on Faraldo. I didn't even remember that. Faraldo's more hittable than I thought. His striking is good, but it's not like legendary in my opinion. He's got big power. He's explosive, yes, but I'm not really seeing it all that much. He doesn't mix in grappling. He doesn't use that at all. He's a striker. And he hasn't fought anyone good at all. Literally nobody good. The one name he has on his record is Delano Taylor, who's fighting in the PFL championships. And like Delano's like good, but like not elite. And also that was both of their pro debuts. So I think it was Delano's second pro fight and Faraldo's pro debut. So that's my issue. I just feel like A, he's too limited to the striking, and B, he's never fought anyone good. Meanwhile, you got Levon Kelly. He gets brought into Bellator. Kyle Crutchmer for his debut. Tough guy, training out of AKA, strong wrestler. Vinicius De Jesus, LFA guy, also really good, beats him. And then loses to Goiti Yamuchi, who's nothing like Roman Faraldo, and lost via grappling. Like he got armbarred. Roman Faraldo's not going to come out here and armbar him. I think that Levon's honestly just as good of a striker, if not better. And we've seen him do it against better guys. So I think that's really something important to think about. Because Faraldo, in my opinion, while he looks good on the feet, doesn't look elite. And that's against trash guys. Whereas I think Levon looks better against really good guys. So not really, against good guys. And then the grappling, Levon's not out here wrestling very often. He's not instigating the grappling. He'll end up on top plenty times just because of his hips, his good counter grappling. But I do think he might mix it in here. And if he does, I think he'll find success. We've never seen Roman Faraldo tested on the ground at all. And I think it's about time. And I think that it's Levon who's going to do it. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing Joe Kelly here. Give me the younger guy. Give me the guy who's faced the way better competition. Give me the guy who I think can mix in the grappling. And give me the guy who I think is just as good of a striker, but you're giving him to me as an underdog. So right now, you could get Levon Kelly at plus 165. Come back on Faraldo is minus 195. That I just don't get it, man. I don't get it at all. I think Levon should win this fight, and I do like him as an underdog. I'm waiting because I think we're going to get a better line than plus 165. People recognize Faraldo. They're going to start throwing him in their parlays. The second Bet Online allows parlays. We're going to see his line go crazy. I bet you we get Levon at like plus 200, and it'll be sick. Mr. D, thank you for tuning in, bro. Georgian fighters tough AF. Absolutely, they are. Let me tell you, all Georgians are tough, not just the fighters. My girlfriend's a Georgian. But yeah, so I like Levon here, and we're going to move on to the next fight. I'm very hyped to play Levon. And all right, I'm not nearly as excited for this fight, but we got to talk about it anyways. We've got Tyrell Fortune versus Daniel James. Now, Tyrell is 12-2-0. He's 32 years old, 6'2" with a 77-inch reach, and I've got him training out of Arizona Combat Sports right now. Daniel James on the other side, he's 13-6-1, 40 years old, so he's 8 years older, 6'6", so he's 4 inches taller, 82-inch reach. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage, and he's training out of Midwest Training Center. I know that he does train with Anthony Johnson. Is that his name? I'm blanking. I think I just mistook him with Rumble. Tony Johnson, RIP Rumble. But yeah, he trains with Tony Johnson, very good wrestler. And yeah, Daniel James, he was fighting in ACA. He's fighting guys like Denis Smolderov, fighting guys like what was his name? It was like very classic wrestling name, like Magomedov or something like that. Lost that fight, but he still kept it on the feet. Like Daniel James has good takedown defense. He's huge, heavy, hard to take down. His striking's not very good. It's slow, labored, but powerful. And, like I don't want to play him as a dog. He's 40 years old. I do think he's live because he's giant, has a really good takedown defense, has fought better competition, honestly, than Tyrell. Maybe not better. Close competition to Tyrell. and probably has close to even striking, but I can't get there. Tyrell, I talk a lot of shit about him. He wrestled for Team USA, high level wrestler, but like, I don't know. He doesn't use it to that much of his advantage. And like in the striking, I don't think he's that good. Big overhand rights. Combos are okay. I do like the hook. The jab is all right when he's using it. I think they're trying to set him up here. I mean, why would they push a 40-year-old man making his Bellator debut? But I'm just not sure that this was the best fight for Tyrell to set him up. Yeah, Tyrell should win. Do I want to bet on him? No, not at all. Have zero interest in him, not even for my round robin. This is the line I was looking for. Over 1.5 is plus 170, and we're going to play that right now because I like that. That's the line that I was looking for. Both of these guys are going to be durable. Both of these guys are going to be a little bit slow, and I like that spot. So I'm going to play that right now. Plus 170, over 1.5, official bet. You guys just witnessed it. Mr. D saying Fortune pooped the bed on his last fight versus Vassal. Look, I'll say this. Vassal is an absolute beast, and I think Vassal would smoke Daniel James. So take that what you may. I love Vassal. Him, I'm a fan of. Dude's cool. But yeah, Tyro Fortune should win here. My bet for this fight, though, is the over 1.5. I just played it for plus 170. I like it. I like it. I like it. We're going to move on to the next fight. All right. Another banger, honestly. Here we've got Daniel Weichel versus Timur Khizriev. Weichel is 42, 13, and 0. He's 37 years old, 5'10" with the 70-inch reach, and he's training out of, is it MMA Spirit? Yes, I believe that's the camp. Khizriev on the other side, he's 11 and 0, undefeated as a pro. 26 years old, so he's 11 years younger. 5'9", he's 1 inch shorter. And yeah, this one's interesting because Khizriev is a short notice replacement. I believe it's around 2 weeks. Daniel Weichel was supposed to fight. I'm blanking on the name. It was another Russian, Ahmed Magomedov, a beast, honestly, that I was excited to see. But instead, we get Khizriev on 2 weeks short notice. And look, I think Khizriev should win, but I don't think that betting him is the wisest thing you can do, to be honest, because look, Daniel Weichel has really good takedown defense. And a fight that really showed that to me is the Saul Rogers fight. Rogers couldn't take him down. Saul Rogers is a good wrestler. He's shown good takedown defense. He did get reversed twice by Carvalho, so that's an avenue for Khizriev. He's got 22 submission wins as Weichel. And his striking, it's pretty good. It's meat and potatoes, but it's good. He does what he needs to do. He's got decent striking. He's a bit hittable. He's been knocked out 5 times, but he's a good fighter. He's got good wrestling of his own and very, very good takedown defense. Now, Khizriev, his combinations are good. He mixes in a lot of weapons. I like the knee up the middle. He's good in the pocket. Really good head movement. Also, really solid wrestling. I'm curious about if he's actually able to take down Daniel Weichel and if he's actually able to hold him down. Because defending against Saul Rogers was impressive to me for Daniel. Can he do it here? We'll see. Do I want to pay minus 300 on Khizriev to find out? Not really. I mean, the win over Bibert Tumanov is really impressive, and he did it well. It was through grappling. He'll probably still be able to wrestle Weichel, even though Weichel is so good at takedown defense. I'm just not positive. I'm just not really interested in playing this at this line at minus 300. What I will possibly look at is Khizriev by decision once that comes out. They've given us props for most of the card, but not for the main fights just yet. So this is one of them that they haven't given those props yet for, but I'll be looking at Timur Khizriev by decision. And yeah, I just wouldn't pay that minus 300. And I don't even really want to parlay it up because I'm not positive that he's going to win this fight. It's a tough matchup to have on short notice. But all right, we're up to our very first title fight and the co-main event of the evening. I mean, this one is so exciting. How could you not be hyped for this? Khabib's team in less than a month, I believe, taking on another Brazilian in another promotion for another title at 155. It's just super dope to see. We've got Patricky Pitbull, 24, 10 and 0, 36 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach, and he trains out of his own camp. Usman Nurmagomedov is 15 and 0, undefeated as a pro. 24 years old. He is 12 years younger, 5'11". He's 4 inches taller, 72-inch reach. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage, and he trains out of AKA with Habib and all of them. He's part of the crew. Obviously, he's Habib's cousin. Now, yeah, look, minus 400 on Usman, even though he's the challenger. It's for a reason. I'm on that side as well. He's a part of my round robin. The dude's just next gen elite. He's elite. His grappling is just as good as his family's. Very good wrestling, very good top control. And where do we see Patricky struggle in the Mustafayev fight? The wrestling. And I think that's something Usman Nurmagomedov can get off here. I do think he can grapple Patricky. And I think that's the smartest thing for him to do because, look, if you've watched my shows before, you know, like, the striking that Usman does isn't my favorite kind of striking. I don't like these Dagestanis who come in here with the spinning kicks, the hook kicks, the heel, whatever, all these, the question mark kicks. They're cool, but they're not throwing their hands. Like, it honestly stresses me out. So I don't love the striking of Usman, even though he's very dynamic, very accurate. When he's using his hands, I love it. I just don't love all the fancy kicks. And he has a bit of a tall man's defense, if you guys noticed. And if Pitbull, if nothing else, the guy's got hands. The guy definitely has hands, hits like a train, just like his brother. Very well trained. Only ever been submitted one time. Like, he's got good BJJ as well. I'm pretty sure he's a black belt like his brother. Obviously, like, wrestling, grappling isn't Pitbull's thing. He's a striker. If we're on the feet for 5 rounds, it's going to be a close fight. I don't think that Usman is going to just dominate on the feet, but I fully expect him to wrestle. I fully expect Habib to be losing his mind on the side of the octagon, bugging out for him to shoot takedowns. So I do think Usman wins. I'm playing him in my round robin. I have him down at minus 400. I think he's the final leg, the 7th leg. And yeah, I mean, there's no real props yet. The over 2.5 is plus 125. And like, that has my attention, but also feels a little risky. He's already minus 600. So like, the line's going down and down and down. But yeah, it's weird to see a champ at this price tag, but it's also like, Pitbull's only champ because his brother stepped down and he fought Cauley for the belt. Like, let's be real here. I think Usman's going to win this fight. I think Usman's going to become champ. And then I think we're going to get Usman versus Mustafayev, which will be really lit. So give me Usman Nurmagomedov. I think he wins this fight probably by decision. But we're going to have to see and find out. And all right, we're up to the main event now. We're up to the second title fight of the night, and it's a rematch. Let me pull up my notes real quick for this one. All right, so here we've got Vadim Nemkov versus Kory Anderson 2. Nemkov is 15-2-0, 30 years old, 6 feet tall with a 76-inch reach, and he trains out of Alexander Nevsky. Kory Anderson on the other side is 16-5-0, 33 years old. He's 3 years older, 6'3". He's 3 inches taller, and he's got about a 2-inch reach advantage with a 78-inch reach. And he's currently training with Frankie Edgar. I was talking about that other guy fighting Aliev, who's training there right now as well. And look, I took Nemkov in the first fight, and I got bailed out. I got bailed out with that no contest because we all know that Nemkov was losing that fight. Kory Anderson was able to get the wrestling going, and Nemkov just wasn't impressive enough on the feet. And yet again, I played Nemkov. I played him, and I'll tell you guys why. Plus 190. He opened up way closer. They opened up at almost pick 'em. And now he's plus 190. Why? Because people just saw him losing the fight, right? But not all 2 fights are the same. And time again, we've seen people come in fights, not be themselves, come back, and be way better. Aljamain Sterling is the first thing that comes into my mind. Look at him against Peter Yan in the first fight, and look at him against Peter Yan in the second fight. Things change, people adjust. What can Kory Anderson adjust to do better here? I don't know. He was already doing great. Keep the grappling going. Use your striking to close the distance and take this guy down. What can Nemkov do to win this fight, to change things up? Work on that takedown defense. Get it up. Get it together. Do more on the feet. Output was too low. Those are fixable things. Those are things he can improve upon. I still think Anderson's going to find success with the grappling, but it's going to be on Nemkov to get up, and I think he's going to be able to. I think he's going to be able to defend most of the shots, and I expect him to be more active on the feet this time. I still think he's the better striker. My opinion's the same there. Obviously, the wrestling goes to Anderson. There's no doubt there. Going to be a close fight, but plus 190, I'm going to take Nemkov every single time. I think that's a good line for the defending champion. I think that's a good line for a guy like Nemkov. And yeah, I could lose a unit if this fight goes exactly how it did the first time without a no contest, but I'm not convinced that that's going to be the outcome. So yeah, I picked Nemkov, played him for a unit at plus 190, and that's it. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. That's Bellator 288. Now, remember, I'll be going live at 9 p.m. Eastern time in just about, what is that? Just about 3 hours to break down UFC Vegas 65. So make sure to tune in for that. And real quick, I'll go over my bets for this card one more time. We've got Isaiah Hokit at minus 205. We've got Nemkov at plus 190. I just played 3 props on as we were going live on the stream. Anderson by sub plus 200. Wladmir Gouvea by sub plus 115. And Daniel James, Tyrell Fortune over 1.5 plus 170 for a half unit as well. I like all of those spots. And then for my round robin, it is, remember, don't do this round robin if you're doing it on any book other than BetMGM because the odds are done for. But it's Aliev, Brennan, Cauley, Newman, Anderson, Nurmagomedov, Colgan, and that's it. Those 7, it's pairs of 5, 21 combinations. Remember, please only do that on BetMGM. The lines are done for on BetOnline. So, yeah, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon, and good luck with your bets.